Okay, I am excited. I don't know why I should be. I can't ride this thing until the other parts come in, but I can build my carbs for my Yamaha. And you see, I am not playing around with the cheap garbage eBay kits that they sell. I'll show you some of the differences in these gaskets, and you'll see why. But I got my Mikuni kits in, and I can build my 800. These are the Yamaha. There's your part number. Okay. For this Yamaha waverunner. All right, let's get started. So first off, with the Mikuni carb kit, you're going to get an entire diagram of how to reassemble everything. Okay. That's definitely a plus if you're new to doing this and you've never done it before. I found a guy on eBay. He's come up with stainless steel screw kits to go in these carburetors. They're not stainless steel. I don't know why. They're the ones that come in and they can rust and all that other sort of thing. I've got one okay, but look at this one. So this is why I ordered it, because I knew I had a messed up screw. And what was more aggravating was that I was using JIS, Japanese International Standard Screwdriver, like you're supposed to, and it still wouldn't come out. I needed an impact driver. So I was able to get it out with the impact driver. Also very important that you use a screwdriver that fits your jets properly if you're going to remove those. But this is the guy's address right here, Sage Power Sports, and he has these kits. I want to say they were $7-8 a piece, so I got one for each carburetor. So he's already gone through and figured out all stainless to replace what's in the carburetor. So all the screws I will be replacing. And that'll leave me with spares. So that's a nice thing as well. Okay, one kit down. Well, almost. I've still got to get into the pump side, but all of the screws did work. So this guy has come up with the proper screws to replace your stripped out or rusted out Mikuni carburetor. So one of the biggest differences that I've noticed in the cheap Chinese kits versus the Mikuni is in this particular gasket. If we can get a close-up, you can see this one's kind of got squared edges so that it's going to fit in well and it's going to give you a good seal. This is the cheap Chinese replacement. And when I took this apart, this had already like stretched and warped from fuel being in it. Let's see. All right, look. You see how it shrunk already? Look at that. Here is the diaphragm. Okay? This is the diaphragm after 15 minutes of riding and use out of the cheap Chinese kit. You see that? The rubber they're using cannot handle fuel. And I want you to look at this. This is a 20-year-old Mikuni diaphragm. It didn't do that. It's wore out. It's time to be replaced, but it doesn't do this. Garbage. Okay, so we're building the pump side. Filter goes in. There's the gasket, and then the clear. You can see it. That's part of the pump assembly. And do not put it on backwards. You see how it's got this slot that runs over. See how it's got the slot that runs over to that passage there. And then this cutout here to allow for that passage. It will fit the other direction, but you will have made a mistake. So then the clear goes on, and then there's going to be your little rubber sealy type material that goes on the same direction. Of course, you want a very clean workspace doing this. And then you have to put the little clear circle tang things. I don't know what to call them. Let's see their official name. It is number 4 on the parts list. Check valve and a grommet. Okay. Check valve. So it's a check valve that goes on these. And like I say, they have lines in them. It's not picking up too well. Get over this sheet of paper. I like that you can use see that green line on it? It's directional for how it sets on in here. Okay, so I've gotten to the part where I have to put my check valves in. And of course, I still have to put the rubber piece in it, but you can see the line that's on it. The line you want facing up towards you, because these are slightly concave apparently. And see how you kind of have to catch the light and see, because since this is clear, which side that stripe is actually written on. I could tell it from my fingerprint. But see, it seems a little more faded that way than that way. So make sure your line is facing up. And of course you can see I've got a ridge. That's the side that thing's. That's how it goes. The green, you know, the little rubber tab seats there. Green, well, they say it's blue. It looks green to me. That's the way it goes. The cheap Chinese kits, this is very easy to install. It's a much softer rubber. And you can see I've pulled this other one. It's got the cheap, see how that's flopping? That's the cheap. See how the gasket's all stretched? This is the way the other one was. So it's like it's stretched too big to really fit now. So when you leave it out here, it'll just harden and be no good. So that's on my second carb. But anyway, I got to finish the check valve, do this other one, get it in. Mikuni does make a tool to do this. I'm using very small. I got my check valves in. Now it's an O-ring placement and then the diaphragm for the fuel pump. And you will notice that on the sbni, super BNI, see how you get that curved piece? You don't have a super, you won't have that. It'll be squared off. But it is possible to put this clear piece on backwards. And then you're going to have, so you put it on like this, and you're going to have this sticking off on the edge. So just make sure you don't do that. Put it on correctly. Then, so this one's getting wrapped up. Then you've got a gasket that is the same way. Has that curved, slight curve, and straight on one edge. So I've got to flip this to get it on right. Boom, just like that. And then my cover, and bolt it on. And that carb is built, but I will have to set pop off. The information that I'm getting on the jet settings is half a turn for the high, half a turn out, plus or minus a quarter. Okay, I think half is probably going to be about right, but there are 2 different settings for the bottom. One is 2 1/4 for the magneto side of your engine on the carburetor, so that would be this one, and then the other one 1 7/8 out. I'm just going to do both of them at 2 and try that. But I do remember it seemed to be running rich, but I've got the good kit in now. Might make all the difference in the world. Okay, I want to call your attention to something. Just when you are opening these Mikuni kits, be real careful. See that little clear piece there? I just was looking all over the place for that. That thing can get caught up in the paper that's folded in there. They seem to be packaging them between the other 2 large diaphragms, but I had lost it. I took the carburetor apart to make sure it still wasn't stuck to one of the clear diaphragms, and I found it stuck to the side of my finger. So that part right there, very easy to lose, that little clear thing that's sitting on top of my big rubber. I've got both carbs built. I'm putting my base plate back on. Of course, you got your base plate gaskets that have to go under there. And then these are 5mm Allen head screws. I think you can use a 3/16. If you don't have a 5mm, let's see, is that the one? 3/16. Yeah, 3/16. My 5mm up at the shed behind me, but get these back on and tighten back down. You can see I've got blue gasket material from the old gasket. These are very thin gaskets. I will not be using that. I've ordered two new base plate gaskets because it always seems like you get these carbs on for an initial run, they don't tend to run right, or at least they didn't with the cheap kits. Hopefully it'll be different with the Mikuni kit. But I have two base plate gaskets, so I don't have to keep reusing it. It can cause vacuum leaks, and you're idle. You can do it. You can get a runaway idle with a vacuum leak down there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this back together. But starting this, and then the other carburetor, and then snap the linkages and all that good stuff. So we've got down to the final. It's what it looks like when it's together. Yamaha 800, which I need to get that back on. But another thing about these where's my, anyway, the inlet and outlet have an arrow, and I don't know that I can get the lighting right. On here, there's arrows showing in and arrows showing out for your fuel. But if you remember, this thing sits about like that up in the, these are your fuel ends. Fuel in goes to the inside of the engine. Fuel out, outside of the carburetor there. So in next to the engine, that's your inlet for your fuel. That's your outlet. The arrows are marked on the side that the fuel pump is on. I can't, my lighting, I'm getting toward the end of the day, so lighting's poor. I'm tired and I'm ready to be done with the video. Once again, these kits, none of these kits come with this accelerator pump diaphragm. That's sold separately. None of these kits come with needles. The high or low doesn't come with that. So you'll have to order that separately if you need it, because there's so many Mikuni carburetors on so many different products, they can't possibly always give you the right one, okay? I guess that's why they do that. I do like the Mikunis better than the Kihens on the Kawasaki's. That seems to be more straightforward. Once again, I will say, do not fool with nor waste your time with the cheap Chinese eBay carb kits. They're worthless. They're garbage. When I took the second one apart, I saw the rubber pieces were just, they swell, and they're no good, okay? The 20-year-old gaskets I had in here, I'm guessing they were original. Maybe they weren't, but they were in better condition. With the exception of the diaphragms were a little worn than the stuff that only went 15 or 20 minutes on the leg. These cheap Chinese kits. So I'm all about saving money. I'm all about doing something and keeping costs low. But if you are sacrificing quality in the pursuit of saving money, then you've messed up. And with these carb kits, you just can't. You can't go cheap. You've got to spend the money, get the good kit, and I think you'll be happier in the long run. Certainly if you're doing it for a customer, they will be. Shade Tree Jet Ski, like, share, subscribe, dislike. I'm finished with this video. I'm not an expert on carbs. If you really want to know somebody who knows what they're doing, go watch Erickson Machine and Performance videos. He's got the experience behind him. I am a novice on carburetors. This is my weakest point in working on a jet ski. I can get it there, but I'm not an expert by any means on carburetors, which is why I'm a little hesitant to do a carb build video, because It just is not my area of expertise. These are clean. These should be ready to go. We'll see. And it may be a month or so. I don't know how long it'll be before I get my parts back. Thanks for watching. Shade Your Jet Ski. See ya.